future CPAs, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Accounting Lessons with PCV. Sir Brian here again. So now, we will be continuing our discussion on post-employment benefits. In our previous lecture video, we have discussed the first type of post-employment benefits, that is defined contribution plan. So this time, we will now be discussing the second type, which is defined benefit plan. Now, since this topic is relatively long and complicated, I subdivided my lecture for this topic into 3 parts. Okay? So in this lecture video, all right, we will be discussing the first part, which is the defined benefit obligation and the projected credit unit method. All right? So, pwede na tayo magsimula. So, as a form of introduction for this topic, when we say accounting for defined benefit plans, actually, we are accounting for 2 components. What are those components? Number 1, defined benefit obligation, and number 2, plan assets. When we say defined benefit obligation, this represents the present value of the company's retirement obligation. Okay? Now, kapag may mga employees kasi si employer, obligado si employer na magtabi ng certain amount of cash or financial resources para ipambayad sa mga employees once they retire. Okay? Required din ito ng batas dito sa Pilipinas na dapat sa employer may itinatabing funds for the retirement benefits of its employees. Okay? So that's for defined benefit obligation. Then for the second component, plan assets, this represents the fund where contributions are made and from which the retirement benefits are paid. So when we say plan assets, dito nilalagay ni employer yung mga financial resources na itinatabi niya para sa retirement benefits ng kanyang employees, no? When we say retirement benefits, we are going to settle this in the future pa, no? Hindi natin yan i-settle ngayon. So, habang nagtatrabaho si employee, yung retirement benefits, ano lang yan, nag-a-accumulate lang yan. Pero hindi mo pa yan pwedeng ipambayad sa kanya habang siya ay nagtatrabaho pa. Babayaran mo lang yan sa kanya kapag magre-retire na siya, no? Ayan. So, these are the 2 components of defined benefit plans. Okay. So now, let's now focus on defined benefit obligation. What are the different characteristics of defined benefit obligation? Number 1, actuarial assumptions and estimates related to retirement benefits of the employees are made. So, di ba nabanggit natin sa previous lecture video, pag defined benefit plan, we are going to utilize actuarial assumptions na, no? Pag kasi pumapasok na sa analysis natin yung actuarial assumptions, nagiging komplikado yung mga procedures natin, no? So dito sa first part ng lecture video ko, dito natin i-discuss paano ba ina-account kapag may actuarial assumptions na. Okay? Second, computations involve discounted amounts since these obligations are to be settled in the future. Just like what I have mentioned earlier, when we talk of retirement benefits, these are to be settled in the future pa, no? So habang nagtatrabaho si employee, nag-accumulate lang yung retirement benefits niya. Then, yung accumulated amount, babayad yan sa kanya kapag siya'y nag-retire na. Alright? And the last characteristic would be the recognition of actuarial gains and losses. Since we are to use, no, we are to utilize actuarial assumptions, this will involve the recognition of actuarial gains and losses. Next. what is the actuarial valuation method that is being prescribed by IAS 19? No? So, nabanggit ni IAS 19 na gagamit tayo ng tinatawag na projected unit credit method. This method will be used in determining the present value of defined benefit obligation. So this will be the method that we will be employing when we are to determine the present value of our defined benefit obligation. Sir, ano nga ba itong projected unit credit method? Ano ba ang kanyang characteristic? Okay. So, projected unit credit method sees each period of service as giving rise to an additional unit of benefit entitlement and measures each unit separately to build up the final obligation. Sir, medyo mabigat yung definition ah. Ano ba ang ibig niyan sabihin in simple terms? So, pag sinabi nating projected unit credit method, as long as nagtatrabaho si employee, lumalaki ang kanyang retirement benefits. Di ba? So as long as si employee ay nasa employ ng company, tumataas ang kanyang retirement benefits. Are we all clear? Okay? Next, since we are to compute for the present value, so alam natin, gagamit tayo ng tinatawag nating mga discount rates. No? So ano ba yung discount rate na gagamitin natin to compute for the present value of defined benefit obligation? So sabi ni IAS 19, the discount rate that shall be used in discounting retirement obligations is determined by the following hierarchy. Meron tayong hierarchy. So the first in that hierarchy would be the market yield of high quality corporate bonds. Okay? That should be as of the end of the reporting period. Okay? Ayan. Tapos, kapag unavailable ang market yield ng high quality corporate bonds, ang sabi ni IAS 19, ang kasunod sa hierarchy, market yield on government bonds naman as of the end of the reporting period. Okay? So tatandaan nyo, once available ang market yield ng mga high quality corporate bonds, gagamitin natin ito. Then, in case na wala ito, mapunta tayo dito kay government bonds. No? So when we say high quality corporate bonds, these are corporation na matagal nang nag-ooperate, di ba? Matagal na siya nag-ooperate because na surpass niya na yung test of time, di ba? Yan ang ibig sabihin ng tinatawag natin mga high quality corporation. So if this corporation issues bonds, then the market yield will be available. Okay? Yan. If these high quality corporations do not issue bonds, then bababa tayo sa pangalawa, which is market yield on government bonds. Okay? Such as the treasury warrants, no? Magkano ba yung magiging treasury interest rate? Ayan. Nakukuha ba? So that is the actuarial valuation method that we will be employing. Okay? Next one. What are the different amounts arising from defined benefit obligation through the use of projected unit credit method? There are three amounts, no? Actually, these are three categories of these amounts. What are those? Number one, service cost. Second, interest expense. And number three, actuarial gains and losses. Let's discuss them one by one. Under service cost, there are three subcomponents. What are those? Current service costs, past service costs, and gain or loss on settlement. Ano tong current service costs? Current service costs represents the increase in the present value of the defined benefit obligation resulting from employee service in the current period. Okay? So pag sinabi natin current service costs, this is the portion of retirement benefits arising from the services rendered by the employee during the current period. Okay? What about past service costs? When we say past service cost, this represents the change in the present value of the defined benefit obligation for employee services in prior periods resulting from plan amendment or plan curtailment. Anong ibig sabihin naman ng past service cost? Number one, this service cost is related to services already rendered by the employee in prior periods. No? There are times kasi na yung original plan nagbabago, no? Yung original retirement plan nagbabago. That's why if there will be some plan amendments, mag-a-arise agad diyan si past service costs, no? So when we say plan amendment, these are changes in the retirement benefit plan of the employer. Ano example nun? Maglalagay siya ng panibagong characteristics, may mga tatanggalin siyang mga terms na meron dati, no? Yan ang tinatawag nating plan amendment. Okay? Pag plan curtailment naman, when we say curtailment, it means reducing or restricting. So when we say plan curtailment, si employer binabawasan yung mga empleyadong entitled sa retirement plan na ganito, no? Okay? Binabawasan niya yung mga number of employees na i-cover nung retirement benefit plan. That is what we call plan curtailment. Okay? Yan. So whether the change results from plan amendment or plan curtailment, past service costs will be recognized. Okay? Next, the third subcomponent is gain or loss on settlement. Nag-a-arise lang ito kapag nagkakaroon na tayo ng premature settlement of retirement benefits. Okay? For example, sa employees mo, you are expecting na magre-retire sila at the age of 60. Okay? Magkakaroon tayo ng gain or loss on settlement if yung employee mo na ine-expect mo magre-retire ng at the age of 60, biglang nag-retire earlier than 60 years old. Okay? So there will be a premature settlement of retirement benefits. Okay? So how do we know if there will be gain or loss on settlement? That is, we will be comparing the settlement price and the present value of benefits settled. Okay? So, case number 1, settlement price is higher than present value of benefits settled. So, let's say the settlement price is, let's say this is 150. While the present value of benefits settled is, let's say 100 lang. So, as we can see, mas malaki yung settlement price kesa sa present value ng benefits. Pag sinabi nating settlement price, yan yung ibabayad mong retirement benefits kay employee na magre-retire. Okay? So, what do you call the difference of 50 pesos? Since mas malaki yung binayad mong retirement benefits kesa sa present value ng benefits dapat kay employee, there will be what? Answer, loss on settlement. Nasobrahan ka ng bayad, di ba? The present value is still lower than settlement price, then there will be loss on settlement. Okay? Then, for the second case, what if the present value of benefits settled is higher than settlement price? So let's say the settlement price is 150, but the present value of benefits settled is, sabihin natin 210 na lang. Yan, 210. What do you call the difference of 60 pesos? Since the benefit of that employee is 210 but you only paid 150, then ibig sabihin ay nakatipid ka. That's why for the second case, the result is gain on settlement naman. All right? Now, when we talk of defined benefit obligation, palaging related ito sa cost, no? Retirement cost. So tandaan nyo, kapag defined benefit obligation, puro retirement cost ang pinag-uusapan natin. Alright? So when we compute the total service cost, that is, current service cost will be added to the past service cost. Then pagdating kay gain or loss on settlement naman, pagka loss on settlement, ia-add mo. Okay? Pero pag gain on settlement, ide-deduct mo na. Kasi kalaban ng cost ang gain. Yes? Okay? So how will you again compute for service cost? Current service cost plus past service cost plus loss on settlement or less gain on settlement. Yes? Okay. Let's proceed to the second amount, which is the interest expense. Interest expense represents changes during the period in the defined benefit obligation that arises from passage of time. So when we talk of interest, then ang interest kasi nag-a-accrue lang yan through passage of time. No? So how do we compute for interest expense? The formula, defined benefit obligation beginning balance, multiply it by the discount rate. Yung discount rate na yan yung diniscuss natin kanina lang, no? Yung market yield of high quality corporate bonds, pag hindi available to, market yield of government bonds naman. Okay? So gagamitin nyo yung discount rate doon sa hierarchy natin kanina. Yes? Okay. Next, the last one, actuarial gains and losses. When we say actuarial gains and losses, these are changes in the present value of the defined benefit obligation resulting from experience adjustments and effects of changes in actuarial assumptions. Ayan. So pag sinabi nating experience adjustments, these experiences arises from differences between previous actuarial assumptions and the actual scenario. Okay? Kaya siya tinawag na experience adjustments. That is because due to your past experience in computing the retirement benefits, nagkakaroon yan ng mga changes or adjustments. Okay? Nakukuha ba? So how do we know kung meron tayong actuarial gain or loss? If defined benefit obligation increases, then there is actuarial loss. Why? Kasi ang defined benefit obligation, utang mo yan eh. Di ba? Utang mo yan. Liability mo yan. So pag tumaas ang utang mo, then magkakaroon ka ng loss. In the context of IAS 19, that loss is actuarial loss. Then, on the other hand, pag bumaba naman ang ating DBO or defined benefit obligation, ibig sabihin yan, bumaba utang mo. Di ba pag bumaba ang utang mo na hindi ka naman naglalabas ng pera, then that would be what? A gain. But in the context of IAS 19, it would be an actuarial gain. Naiintindihan ako? Alright? Yes. Next. How do we compute? Okay? How do we compute the ending balance of defined benefit obligation? Okay? So, through the use of T account, ito yung mga magiging components niya. Okay, let's start. So the first component of defined benefit obligation, that will be your DBO beginning balance. The second component, that will be your interest expense. So tandaan nyo, ang interest expense, paano kino-compute? DBO beginning multiplied by the discount rate. Okay? Next, papasok sila current service cost, past service cost. Okay? Papasok yan sila. Then, ano yung nagpapa-decrease kay defined benefit obligation? Ano yung nagpapa-decrease sa kanya? Okay? So dito, ano ang pwedeng magpa-decrease kay defined benefit obligation? Siyempre yung mga settlements. No? These are what we call retirement benefits settlement. Okay? Pero tatandaan nyo, dapat itong settlement na ito is in terms of its present value. No? Present value. Okay? So, pagdating dito kasi sa retirement benefit settlement, kapag yung mga employees mo nag-retire naman on the normal retirement date or as expected, di ba? The PV will simply be equal to its settlement price. So wala tayong problema doon. Kung magkano kasi yung present value ng retirement benefits ng mga employees na magre-retire as expected, then there would be no gain or loss on settlement. No? Kaso, kapag nagkaroon tayo ng premature retirement, doon nag-a-arise yung difference between the settlement price and the PV of DBO settled. No? So tatandaan nyo, pagdating kay defined benefit obligation, yung present value ng benefits ang tatanggalin nyo sa kanya. Okay? Later on, sa mga problems, makikita natin yan. Makikita nyo yung difference between the retirement of employees as expected, employee retirement in advance. Ayan, makikita nyo later on. Okay? Sige. So, summarize nyo yan, magkakaroon tayo ng tinatawag na DBO before adjustments. Ayan. Magkakaroon tayo dyan ng tinatawag na before adjustments na amount. So when we say before adjustments, that would be before actuarial gains and losses. Okay? So, it can either be magkakaroon tayo ng gain or loss, no? Ayan. Anong sabi natin kanina sa discussion? Kapag actuarial loss, anong nangyayari sa DBO? Siya ba'y tumataas or bumababa? Answer, tumataas. Tama? That's why, kapag may actuarial loss tayo, ilalagay natin siya dito sa credit side. Okay? Actuarial loss on defined benefit obligation. Because that will increase your DBO. Okay? Then kapag actuarial gain naman, ano nangyayari sa DBO? Bumababa. So, kapag actuarial gain, that is nasa debit side siya. So, actuarial gain on DBO. Okay? Then, you can now compute for its ending balance. So, defined benefit obligations end. So this is your ultimate amount for defined benefit obligation. Are we all clear so far? Naiintindihan na ako? Okay? So that's for the first component of defined benefit plan. Okay? Now let's proceed to illustrative examples. So this example number 1 deals with your projected unit credit method. Ready? Okay. So, an entity provides a retirement benefit of 5% of an employee's salary in the final year of service for every year of service. Anong ibig niya sabihin dito pa lang sa first sentence? Magbibigay daw siya ng annual retirement benefit equal to 5% of that employee's salary in the final year of service. Okay? So, dapat first, ma-project muna natin kung magkano yung magiging sahod ng empleyado during the final year of his or her service. Okay? So magpo-project tayo later on. Okay. The following information pertain to one of the company's employee. Number 1, the employee is expected to work for 5 years. Number 2, annual salary increase is 10%. And number 3, the employee's current year salary total 540,000. We are given both the market yields of high-quality corporate bonds and government bonds as of the end of the current year, 10% and 8%. Okay? Yan. So, there will be 3 requirements. We are asked to compute for the current service cost of each year up to the employee's retirement. Number 2, interest expense each year. up to the retirement. And number 3, DBO and each year. Okay? So, paano natin sasagutan ang problem number 1? There will be 4 steps. Okay? The first step, first, compute for the employee salary in the final year of service. Number 2, compute for the annual retirement benefit. Number 3, compute for the service cost each year. And the last one, provide an analysis of the defined benefit obligation or DBO per year. So may 4 steps tayong gagawin for this problem. Ready? Okay. So, first step, compute for the employee's salary in the final year of service. Okay. So, based on the actuarial assumptions made, no, the employee is expected to work for 5 years. Okay. So, latag natin. Meron tayong pang year 1, year 2, and so on. Okay? Ayan. Now, magkano yung sahod ng employee during its first year of employment? Anong sabi sa atin dito? The current year salary is 540. Okay? Sige, so lagyan natin. 540,000. Pagdating ng year 2, magkano na kaya sahod niya? Since there is an annual salary increase of 10%, then yung 540K, mumultiplyan natin yan ng 1.10. Okay? So magkano na to? Compute natin. 594. Diba? Then sa year 3, magkano na sahod niya? That is, mag-i-increase ulit yung sahod niya. No? So yung 594 mo, mumultiplyan mo ulit ng 1.10. Tuloy-tuloy hanggang 5th year yan, guys. Okay? So, tuloy natin na. Year 4 magiging 653,400 times 1.10. And for year 5, another increase. So that will become 790,614. Okay? So the employee's salary in the final year of service is determined at 790,614. Okay? Ayan. Now, sir, medyo matagal yung computation dahil pa isa-isa yung compute natin. Is there any other way para mas mabilis yung computation? Yes, there is another way. That is through the use of future value of 1. Okay? Future value of 1. So, paano natin kukomputin yon? Okay. Di ba ang current year salary niya is 540,000? Mumultiplyan mo yan ng 1 plus interest rate, no? 1 plus interest rate, okay, over n, or the compounding periods. Nakukuha ba? Okay. So, ilang years yung compounding periods natin? Di ba 5 years? 5 years yan. So, magiging 540,000 times magkano? Okay. Since the annual salary increase is 10% per year, gagawin mo dyan is 1 plus 0.10. 1 plus 0.10. So, magkano yun? 1.1. Tama? Now, for the compounding periods, mag-ingat kayo dito, guys. No? Mag-ingat kayo. Yung 1.1 na yan, pang anong year na yan? Is it for year 1 or year 2 na siya? Answer, pang year 2 na agad. No? Pang year 2 na agad siya. Kasi sa year 1, ano pa lang siya? 1.0 pa lang siya. Hindi pa na-effect yung salary increase. That's why, itong ilalagay nyo sa calculator nyo, pang year 2 agad. Okay? So hanggang year 5 lang ang kukomputin natin. Ha? So magiging 1.1 for year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. Ang dapat na makuha nyo dyan ay 1.4641. Okay? So magkano to? makukuha nyo pa rin si 790,614. Okay? Di ba same? Same sila? Yan. So this is another method. Okay? Sa future value, ang madalas na nagiging error ng student dyan ay yung 1.1 nilalagay niya sa year 1. Pero doon pa lang nagkakamali na agad. Okay? Isipin nyo, since this is an annual salary increase, during the current year, that is your year 1, no? Wala pang 1.10. Okay? Year 2 magsi-start yung 1.10. That's why yung computation natin ay 1.4641. Are we all clear? Okay? So yan, that's the first step. So the employee salary in the final year of service is 790,614. Okay? Second step, compute for the annual benefit. Anong sabi ulit sa actuarial assumptions natin? 5% daw ng employee salary in the final year of service. So the annual benefit is simply equal to 790,614 times 5%. So magkano annual benefit niya? That would be 39,531. So that will be your annual benefit. Okay? So since that is an annual benefit, and ang sabi, ibibigay daw yan for every year of service, since the employee is expected to work for 5 years, so the total retirement benefit of the employee is equal to 39,531 per year times 5 years. So ang kanyang total retirement benefits ay 197,655. Okay? So at the end of the 5 years, yan yung ibabayad ng company. No? Yan yung amount na, yung total amount na ibabayad ng company kay employee pag nag-retire na siya after 5 years. Okay? Huwag niyong isipin na every year may binabayad si company kay employee amounting to 39,531. Hindi ganon yun. No? Since this is post-employment benefit, sa dulo pa yan ibabayad lahat. Okay? So that's for the second step. Third step, compute for the service cost each year. Okay. So, how do we now compute for the service cost each year? Mag-drawing tayo ng chart kasi medyo komplikado pagdating sa step na to eh. Okay? So, this will be saktoin natin 5 years to ha. So, year 1, year 2, 3, ayan ba yan? 4 and 5. Okay? Now, each year, magbibigay daw si company ng magkanong annual benefit. Lagay natin each year yan. 39,531 each year. Okay? Yeah. 39,531. Okay? Now, kailan nga ulit babayaran lahat ng benefit? Dito. Lagyan natin ito. Dito tayo magbabayad ng lahat ng benefits. Tama? So, sa year 5, nandito yung point 1 natin. Okay? Nandito yung point 1. Okay? Now, di ba ang sabi natin kanina sa projected unit credit method, that is to build up the final obligation. So since babayaran pa naman after 5 years itong mga amounts na to, we need to compute for its present value. Okay? So paano natin gagawin yung pagka-present value niya? So itong mga amounts na ito is ipo-project natin papunta dito, no? Ipo-project natin sila papunta dito. Yan. Ganyan ang scenario ng pag-determine ng service cost natin. Okay? Ipo-project natin. And tandaan nyo, okay, yung 39,531 na yan, guys, okay, hindi yan yung pinaka-value niya nung year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4. Actually, yan ay isang future value. No? Isa siyang future value na kukompute natin ng present value. Okay? So, point of reference is year 5. Gagamitan natin ito ng discount rate. Okay? So, sabi dito, may dalawang market yields. Tama? High quality corporate bonds, 10%. Government bonds, 8%. Alin gagamitin natin dyan? According to our hierarchy, what? High quality corporate bonds. So, anong discount rate? 10% tayo. Huwag nyo nang pansinin si 8%. Papansinin nyo lang si 8% pag wala tayong market yield on high quality corporate bonds. Are we all clear? Okay. So, alam niyo na siguro to, no? Present value tayo. So 1.1 in your manual calculator, press your division sign 2 times. Magkano yung present value of 1 for 1 period? Magkano 'yon? 0.9091. 4 decimal place tayo para consistent. Okay? So for year 4, gagamitan mo siya ng 0.9091. For year 3, 0.8264. For year 2, 0.7513. And for year 1, 0.6830. Eh sir, ano yung value nung sa year 5? 1. Okay? Yan lang. Are we all clear? Okay. So, simply multiply the annual benefit by the present value factor. Okay? So for year 1, what's the service cost for year 1? 39,531 times 0.6830. That would be 26,700. Lagay natin dito. Okay? That's for year 1. For year 2, 39,531 times 0.7513, 29,700. For year 3, 39,531 times 0.8264, that is 32,668. For year 4, 39,531 times 0.9091, 35,938. And lastly, for year 5, wag niyo ng calculator dahil same na yan. 39,531 na siya. Okay? Yan. So for year 1, the service cost, year 2, year 3, 4, and 5. Okay? So these are the service costs each year. Okay? So tandaan nyo yan, ha? Kasi gagamitin natin yan sa 4th step, which is the analysis of your DBO. Okay? Sige, 4th step. Provide an analysis of the defined benefit obligation per year. Okay. So, ganito na gagawin natin. Summarize na natin lahat. Okay? Year 1. How much is the DBO beginning? Answer, wala pa. Kakasimula pa lang niya magtrabaho eh. So, in the year of the employment starting, no? Wala muna tayong DBO beginning. Okay? Since wala tayong DBO beginning, interest expense natin, of course, wala pa. Okay? Kasi ang basis ng interest expense natin, kung nakakalimutan nyo, di ba, DBO, ayan naman ba yan? DBO beginning times discount rate. Di ba? Eh, since walang DBO beginning, wala ring interest expense. Kaso, unti-unti nang magbi-build up yung ating service cost. So for year 1, magkano yung service cost natin? 26,700. Therefore, DBO ending balance for year 1, 26,700. Okay? Then, pagdating sa year 2, mag-accumulate yan. Magiging beginning balance na siya ng year 2. Okay? Since meron na tayong DBO beginning balance, may interest expense na tayo. Okay? Now, for the discount rate, kung ano yung discount rate na ginamit natin kanina, which is the 10%, correct? Yun na rin gagamitin mo para sa pag-compute ng interest expense. So that will be 26,700 times 0.1. Meron tayong interest expense amounting to 2,670. Then, for the current service cost, year 2, 29,700. Diba? So, magkano na DBO end natin at the end of year 2? So, add nyo lang lahat yan. Magiging 59,070 pesos. No? Then, pagdating ng year 3, siya na ang beginning. Interest expense, simply multiply your beginning balance by 10%, magiging magkano to? That is 5,907. Then input your current service cost as computed in step 3, year 3 na, 32,668. Okay, magkano na siya? $97,645. Year 4, so beginning natin is 97,645. Tama? Interest expense, how much? Magiging 9,765. Current service cost, year 4, 35,938. Magkano DBO ending natin? $143,348. Okay, last one. Year 5. 143,348. Magkano interest expense? That would be 14,335. And magkano current service cost ng year 5? 39,531. So magkano to? That will become what? 197,214. Okay. Pagdating ng year 5, no, dapat mag-equal siya doon sa na-compute nating total annual benefit kanina. Doon sa step number 2, di ba nag-compute na tayo ng total annual benefit? Magkano nga ulit yun? 39,531 times 5 years. Di ba 197,655? So dapat mag-equal dyan yung magiging DBO ending mo at year 5. Ang nangyari lang dito kasi due to rounding of differences, nagkakaroon tayo ng small difference. No? This is just simply due to rounding of differences na. Okay? Due to rounding of differences yan. Kasi 'di ba gumagamit tayo ng future value, present value. So nagkakaroon talaga siya ng rounding of difference. It is okay naman, no? Nakuha? So yung final DBO balance natin at year 5, that is equal to your total retirement benefit. That is the application of projected credit unit method. Okay? So that's the comprehensive discussion of the projected credit unit method. I hope naintindihan nyo, no? Kahit medyo komplikado siya sa process. Okay? So kapag hindi nyo naintindihan, simply rewind the video, uulitin ko. Okay? Sige. Next. Second illustrative example. Ito na. I-apply na natin pati yung mga amounts na nire-recognize natin kay sino ba to? Kay defined benefit obligation. Okay? Sige. So, we are given the following information on December 31, 2023. We are asked to compute for the defined benefit obligation as of December 31, retirement costs to be reported in P&L and retirement costs to be reported in other comprehensive income. Okay. So, for this one, guys, no? For this one, alamin lang natin doon sa mga amounts na ni-report kay DBO, alin doon na mapupunta sa P&L at alin doon yung mapupunta sa OCI. Okay? Sige. So, lagay natin dito The retirement cost to be reported in P&L for 2023. Okay? Actually, that is dalawa. Dalawa sila. Ano yon? Service cost and your interest expense. Yan yung mapupunta sa P&L natin. Tapos, yung nasa other comprehensive income, these are the actuarial gains and losses. Okay? So, doon sa tatlong amounts na ni-report natin in relation to your defined benefit obligation, yung first two items, P&L sila. Okay? Tapos, yung pangatlo, which is the actuarial gains and losses, nasa OCI yan as required by AS 19. Okay? Sige, let's start. Number 1. Defined benefit obligation as of December 31, 2023. So, gawan lang natin to ng T-account. I do hope na tatandaan nyo pa yung mga components Okay? Sige. So, the first component is DBO beginning. Magkano DBO beginning? 1,360,000. Second component, interest expense. Okay? So, magkano discount rate daw natin? 8%, no? So, 1.36 million times 0.08. Lagay natin, 108,800. Okay? Current service cost, 240,000. Past service cost, magkano to? 44,000. Okay? Next. Ano yung nagpapadecrease kay defined benefit obligation? Yun ay mga settlement of retirement benefits, no? So, retirement benefits settlement. Okay. So, mamaya na natin tignan yung mga actuarial losses and gains There are two two items of benefits paid. The number one, benefits paid to employees retired on normal retirement date. So this first item of benefits paid, that is as expected. Okay? Yan yung mga binayad mo sa mga employees na nag-retire as expected. Tapos yung pangalawang benefits paid to employees retired in advance. Ito naman yung premature settlement. Okay? Sige. When it comes to the benefits paid to employees retired on normal retirement date or as expected, that amount is simply equal to its present value of benefits settled. So, lalagay lang natin agad kay DBO ay 150K. Okay? Lalagay lang natin yan. No? Tapos, pagdating naman kay premature settlement, nagkakaroon ng difference yung settlement price at yung present value of benefits settled. So, alin sa dalawa ang ilalagay natin kay DBO? Is it the 140K, which is the benefits paid, or the present value of benefits settled in advance? Answer natin, yung present value. So, 128,000. Okay? Eh sir, saan natin lalagay si 140,000? Later on, in our next lecture video, doon yung malalaman saan nilalagay yung benefits paid to employees retired in advance. Clear? Okay? Yan. So, computin nga natin yung unadjusted balance niya. So, add all credit sides and less all debit sides. Magkano? 1,474,800. Okay? Tapos, may dalawang actuarial items tayo. May actuarial loss, may actuarial gain. Tama? So, saan ko ilalagay si actuarial losses due to experience adjustments? Debit or credit? Answer? Credit. No? So, actuarial loss, lagay natin dyan, 180,000. What about actuarial gain? Siyempre, nandito na sa kabila yan. Actuarial gain is 108,000. And finally, kindly compute for your DBO ending or December 31, 2023. How much is that? 1,546,800. So the final answer for number 1 is 1,546,800. All right? Clear? Next, number 2. Ayan na. Profit or loss tayo. No? Profit or loss. So, magkano daw na retirement cost ang nire-report sa P&L? Okay? Ano nga ulit yung mga nilagay ko doon sa previous slide? Service cost and what? Interest expense. So, papasok sila current service cost, past service cost, and yung gain or loss on settlement. And ano pa? Interest expense. So this will form part of the retirement cost na i-report mo sa profit or loss. Okay? Sige. Current service cost, copyin lang natin sa given, 240,000. Past service cost, 44,000. Gain or loss on settlement. Okay. So yung gain or loss on settlement ay related dito yan sa dalawang to. Benefits paid to employees retired in advance and present value of benefits settled in advance. Okay. So yung 140K, that's your settlement price. Okay? Settlement price yan. Then, compare that with your present value of benefits settled in advance. How much is the difference? 12,000. Tama? Lagay na natin yan dito. Anong tawag kay 12,000? Is that a gain or a loss on settlement? Answer? Since mas mataas yung settlement price kesa sa benefits, nasobrahan ng bayad si company. Therefore, what's the result? Loss on settlement. Ano treatment pag loss on settlement? Add or deduct? Answer? I-add natin dyan. Okay? Add natin yan si loss on settlement. Kasi nga, cost ang pinag-uusapan natin. Tama? O. Tandaan niyo yan, ha? Okay? Then for interest expense, that will be DBO beginning multiplied by discount rate. Magkano na ulit to? 108,800. So to compute for number 2, paki-add lang silang lahat. That will be 404,800. So final answer for number 2, 404,800. Okay? And lastly, okay, number 3, OCI naman, retirement cost na i-report sa OCI. Ano nga ulit yon? Those actuarial gains and losses. So meron tayong actuarial loss, meron tayong actuarial gain. Okay. Actuarial loss, 180,000. While actuarial gain is 108,000. Since ang pinag-uusapan pa din natin dito, guys, ay retirement cost, ang loss, add yan. Ang gain, dinededuct. Okay? So, magkano daw ang retirement cost na ire-report mo sa OCI? December 31, 2023. Answer, 72,000. Okay? Since mas malaki si actuarial loss, then the resulting amount is net actuarial loss. Okay? Net actuarial loss. Pero kung mas malaki yung gain, alam natin ang tawag, net actuarial gain naman. Yes? Okay? Ayos? Alright. So in our next lecture video, we will now be discussing the second component, which is your plan assets. Okay? Ayan. So, I hope na intindihan nyo ang first part ng discussion ng defined benefit plan natin, no? So don't forget to hit the subscribe button to be notified of our new uploads. Thank you for watching, guys.